So I want to ask, just as a kind of last topic, which is not related to this, but we talked about it off the air, and I think it's really interesting. You were telling me that you see God or evidence of God in math.
Well,
can you explain what you were saying? Or maybe I misread what you were saying.
No, you did not. I have been closer and closer to God in the sense that because it takes me a long time, I'm rather rebellious. I have to say, damn it, God, you got to prove it to me. Show it to me, buddy. Just kidding. Oh, I'm sorry to anybody. No offense. But I really say it in that way. You talk to yourself in a sense. But in many, many moments in history of physics or mathematics, things come out. You see, mathematics, is this very pure word that it seems to have no connection to real world physics.
That's right.
It's true. It's complex number. It's one of them. But it appears in quantum mechanics, right? It's so beautiful. But one of the things that sometimes you see in the equation is so amazing. When you formulate, maybe it's not right. Maybe it's this and that. Maybe, you doubt yourself. But one of the most beautiful equation was the one that derived by Paul Dirac. He's a professor at Cambridge University, but he retired in Florida, by the way. He died in Florida, Tallahassee. It's a refuge for him because he doesn't like to talk. He would sit there for 5 days, he don't talk. One day, all of a sudden, he talked. But anyway, he formulated, he's a beautiful man. Paul Dirac, he formulated this relativistic equation for electrons. But in one of the equations, the solution come out to be a negative sign. Not only that, there's a square root involved, so there's strange behavior. There's a negative sign in love, but it has the exact property, like an electron and all that stuff. How come? Everybody say you're crazy, you're stupid, this and that, right? He's not even no sweat, buddy. He just say, I am right. Few years later, it is shown in Caltech by Carl Anderson to show there's actually such a thing called positron. The opposite, the brothers of electron. There's such a thing. And then if you ask yourself, how is it possible? Right? There's something, this is just out of nowhere. Where does this thing come from? And then in mathematical sciences, there's a lot of things like this, like geometry. There's an even more famous thing in geometry is called Calabi-Yau manifold that related to string theory. This thing was basically a revisit of Einstein's general relativity equation, asking itself whether is it possible to have closed curvature in space-time that you actually don't require even gravity to be there. And they show that Calabi was trying to prove this Yao, Xingdong Yao is one of the great mathematicians, right? He's at Harvard, but he retired. Now he go to China, right? He was the one who tried to disprove this thing, but he turns out to be true. That it's true that you can have closed curvature in space-time that without gravity even. So that added even more rich in this world. That from mathematics to real world, we already have enough hard time understanding Einstein. This guy added even more. And his discovery was in the 70s and things like that, So there's so many examples and incidents like this. Just have to tell you that you have to bow down. You have to occasionally take a deep breath. There may be some ever presence of these forces that allow us to illuminate our life. And I tell you, God has given us all this light that tell us that we have to follow the light and do the best we can